Welcome back to the Boomerang Podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Drew.
And today we just wanted to kind of go over what we did over the weekend, right? We did a golf tournament.
Had a little bit of fun.
We had a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, tell us what we did.
We did the EFL Epic Football League golf tournament at Wigwam here in Phoenix area. I think there was about 60, 70 people that showed up. We helped sponsor the event. It was a 2-day golf event. A lot of it went to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Yep. A lot of donations there, toy drive, all that good stuff. But yeah, I got to go out, enjoy the beautiful weather. We played, we won. We beat Team Guatemala, who we were playing against. So it was a good time.
It was, yeah. And, special thanks to Aaron. Aaron, you the man. Thank you for organizing that. And I also want to give out a shout out to Chris and his dad, Gary, who partnered up with Justin and I. I want to give you guys a shout out. It was great playing you both, although you did beat us. So I wasn't too happy about that, but it's great meeting you guys, and I just wanted to give you a shout out on the podcast because I know you're watching.
Yeah.
But
so, while we were playing golf, what did we miss? We missed the debate nobody asked for.
Right.
That probably nobody watched, which was DeSantis and
nice
Gavin Newsom.
It was nice living in seclusion on the golf course.
Yeah, it was nice kind of stepping away from it, huh?
Yeah.
So I heard his wife, I don't know if this is true, but I heard his wife came in on a commercial break, Gavin Newsom's, and basically threw the towel in, like, get the hell out of here. We're done with this. Did you see that, or you hear
I just
about
heard
that,
it.
or
I
no?
heard about it when you told me today. I looked it up, and National Review had an article on it, and it makes sense. I mean, Gavin Newsom's just as corrupt as they come. He was doing deals with China while Trump was president, still is, most likely. I mean, he cleaned up San Francisco overnight, magically, right when Xi Jinping was in town. So it's like, it just goes to show you what these people really think of you.
Yeah, he had to clean it up for the boss.
Yeah, clean it up for exactly his boss.
Not the people.
Yeah, but, I mean, Gavin Newsom, I think it'll come out that he will be found guilty of sedition, will be guilty of treason. These are bad people, but these are the people still running the show. They're in charge. And it's just, more reason why we need to drain the swamp.
It's weird. Well, I always wonder, like, why would they do the debate? Like DeSantis is running for president, but he's going to debate another governor. And then Gavin Newsom is just waiting to probably take in for Slow Joe whenever he drops out. Just kind of a weird thing to do.
I'm all for debate because it's like, we've actually sat here and we haven't knocked DeSantis because I think he's controlled opposition. I think he's working for Trump. I think it's just coordinated. I think it's a reality TV show you're watching between Trump, DeSantis, and all these people, right? Vivek. Is it Vivek? Vivek Ramaswamy. He's kind of like Trump in Obama's clothing, kind of speaks like Obama, but has Trump's ideas, right? So I think they're all working. If I had to guess, I think they're all working in coordination. I think it's all staged and planned. Everybody knows it's going to be Trump. It's just going to be. I think what 2024 is going to be is they're going to have to commit so much fraud and so much overwhelming, just obvious fraud that it's almost like you can use 2024 to litigate what happened in 2020. Yeah. Right. It's going to happen to such a severe extent where you're probably not going to get an election result for 2 months. And people are going to be sitting there like,
just wild.
What the hell? Yeah. I know we've had Grant on here. Grant Stinchfield, he guarantees that we have an election in 2024. And we probably will, but it's probably going to be just so overwhelmingly fraudulent that, even your most hardened liberal is going to sit there and be like, all right, this is a little ridiculous. Right. And who are they going to put up? Michelle Obama, Big Mike? I mean, good luck. Good luck with that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it shakes out. Well, on the lighter side, we saw gold break all-time highs over the weekend, which is really cool. It's obviously going to fluctuate day to day, but just kind of being over that 2,000 mark is something that, I've really personally thought was going to come, and I think we'll continue to see it, inch up. It is gold. It's not, going to shoot up, but continue to inch up toward $2,200, $2,300. That's just my own personal thought on it. Matt, you might even disagree with me on that, but that's where I kind of just see the charts when I look at it. And it kind of just goes in line with, going back to Juan O'Savin, our interview with him last week that came out, this is the right time to be going into a commodity like gold and silver while we have these major issues in the economy with the banking, right? And it's to be able to preserve your wealth and to be that kind of bridge into the next system, right?
Yeah, kind of the way Juan put it. And it was just from a personal note, I mean, being able to have a Juan come on this show, somebody who I've been listening for years, it's like, dream come true, but he's as nice and as genuine a guy as it gets and very gracious and generous with his time. But, kind of the way he put it was, you have working assets like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, sort of your traditional money makers. And that's really the place you want to be, right? That's what he was talking about. It's really, you really want to be in those types of assets, right? But he says, hey, if America's working properly, yeah, you want to be in the markets. You want to get a piece of the action. right? Because the stock market produces something, right? And as somebody who invests in it, you get a piece of that action, right? You get a piece of the return, i.e. a rate of return, right? Whereas with gold and silver are not working assets. They're sit there, collect dust. But he basically puts it where when America's not working, and that's where we're headed, is that we're entering a shift where things are not going to be working properly, where markets are not going to be working for you. It's not going to be a rate of return. It's going to be a loss. This is the time where you want to get into a store of wealth, and just as you said, to bridge that gap between, this system where everything's breaking down and having the ability to redeploy that money into the new system, whatever that system looks like. Juan talks about some ideas. Definitely check out the interview because it's really very telling insights. And you could tell Juan, he's holding back. He can't tell us everything that's going to go down because why? He doesn't want to cause panic. Right. But he understands that what we do, as he would say, we work in a very important lane, as he would say. And why that is because, what we do is we store people's money, right? We store the value of your wealth, right? If gold goes up to 2,500, it's really, you're not, let's say you bought it at 2,000, right? And you're selling at 2,500. It's not a $500 profit. It's just things like the dollar have gotten weaker, right? Your purchasing power is declining. So really, whatever the price of gold is, it's really meant there to store the value. But yeah, obviously if you can get it cheaper, right, at 2,000 versus 2,500, do it, right, because you get more of it. But yeah, just as insights in the world. I mean, I found it just absolutely fascinating. What he's talking about, and I've heard him talk about it before. But Facebook, Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency space, it being a DARPA operation, right, Defense Advanced Research Projects, right, one of these, black.
Budget kind
black
of
budget,
things.
yeah, black budgets, sort of government things. It wasn't Mark Zuckerberg who created Facebook; it was DARPA, and the whole story between Mark Zuckerberg and who are the twins, the Winklevoss twins. It's all a show. It's just it's nonsense. It's there, right? They make these movies, right, in order to solidify this bogus narrative, so that people say, oh, he's in his dorm room and he created this code, and one day he, light bulb went on, ding. No. This is government trying to take over a space. He got into servers, right? How they could run servers free of charge for next to nothing. Interesting, his take on cryptocurrencies. That gets us a little bit nervous because we happen to like the crypto space. But hey, if DARPA is behind it, and I've heard things about Bitcoin having, kind of backdoors into the actual code. So it's like, is this decentralized? Who knows? But, that's why I'm always somebody who's going to preach about gold and silver, because that can't be, that's in your hand, that's tangible.
Can't backdoor that.
What was your yeah? Well, yeah, exactly. You can't backdoor. What was your takeaway on one? What did you like about kind of what he had to say?
Yeah, very gracious with this time. It was awesome. It's one of those interviews that you just kind of listen to, right? You don't want to interrupt and stop the flow too much, and kind of let him get what he needs to say out into the open. So it was cool just to sit back, watch the sunrise literally while we're talking to him.
Dark to light.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was pretty, kind of really a cool moment, kind of epic. Has it like an inside thing. But yeah, it was a great time. I'd love to have him on. We should try to do it maybe monthly or something, if he's down for it. That'd be really cool.
Juan did say he's willing to come back on. I don't want to take up tons of his time, but if there's questions that, let's say, you, the audience, things that we missed, right? I'm sure there's tons of things that we missed that you guys want to hear about. Put it in the comments, right? We'll ask him next time. We'll pick, 5 or 10 questions and we'll run it by him. We want to come prepared. We want to come to him with, hey, here's what we want to talk about. Right, and really just get to brass tacks with him, because his time's valuable, and just for him to even give us the time is, godsend. But yeah, I think everybody would get a lot. And it's one of those interviews where I've watched it now maybe 2 or 3 times, and it's like you pick up on more and more stuff, right? The more you watch it. That's kind of the interesting part about listening to Juan, is like you don't catch everything the first time. It's like you might have to listen to this interview 2 or 3 times in order to really get the full understanding out of it.
Right.
He's talking about gold and silver being, basically a place to park your money. He's got the camera at a parking spot. Okay. So yeah, there's double, triple, quadruple meanings to everything this guy says. So, and definitely get his book, Kid by the Side of the Road. And 2 episodes ago, or 3 episodes ago, was it, Justin? 2. I do an excerpt, Bowling for Turkey. I do an excerpt. I read some excerpt out of the book, and I mean, think about it: a nuclear bomb being set off in Seattle, helicopters landing in the middle of Wilshire, Paul McCartney dying in a fiery plane crash in 1977, and having an exact look-alike all these years. I mean, I've looked into the conspiracy theory, and let me tell you something: it checks out. It sounds nuts.
I love it.
It sounds nuts, but it checks out. I looked into it. I actually looked into it beyond the book. I was like, okay, there is evidence for this. Now, what the truth is, I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah, I want to jump in here real quick. You actually, Matt, you sent me this video this morning that I'd already seen, but it's been going around again, and I'll go ahead and pull it up for everyone to see. But I want to hear you guys' take on this because it's quite interesting.
At this point, we're living under corporate and medical fascism. This is tyranny. When do we get to use the guns? No, and I'm not, that's not a joke. I'm not saying it like that. I mean, literally, where's the line? How many elections are they going to steal before we these people?
So I bring that up because it's like, I mean, those are some big, like, obviously you hear the crowd, the trigger of the guns, and then, but he's not asking a provocative question per se. I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
I think we've been fortunate in the sense of we've had people like Juan out there, people like Kellyanne, people who give people hope and something nice to look forward to. I think a lot of these people who put out this type of content about John Kennedy and things like that, it's probably the reason why you haven't had revolts and the reason why you haven't seen us literally chase these politicians and these, Al Bourla of Pfizer. I mean, like Q said, these people are not going to be able to walk down a street, and that day's coming. That day is coming. And believe me, as far as what that guy said, and I'm not going to say it here, we're getting close to that. We're getting very close to that. And I really hope that the good guys can make a move on these bad guys sooner rather than later because, I'm getting sick of it. I'm sick of it. And I know you're sick of it. And I know you're sick of it.
I like Jacob Chansley's approach where it's just by not complying. Like it's a revolution by non-compliance.
Yeah, it's like I'm not after liberal Democrat voters. Like these people, like I have nothing against them. They've just been duped. Right, I have no hate toward these people. The people I have a hate toward are the Al Bourlas of the world, who put out a vaccine, right? That's doing a lot of harm, more harm than good. I'll put it nicely, and it's one of those things where these people, they're gonna pay. They're gonna pay.
That's where the Bill Gates, the George Soros of the world that are just. Those are the scum, not the individual person. It's kind of like you talk about this country going to war with this country. It's like the leader might be, a commie, just POS. Doesn't mean the people are necessarily, right? So you got to just make sure you differentiate between that. But yeah, I think Jacob nailed it. You do not comply, right? And
you don't want a revolution, as he says. You want an evolution.
Correct. Elevate up.
And that was, and that's why I really like Jake. That Jake interview was great. He's such a down to earth, nice guy. It's like you would never have I had no idea what to expect before he came in.
Yeah, and I'm excited to vote for him here in Arizona.
He's got our vote, and I'm sure he'll be back on the show. But he has the right idea. He's a peaceful guy. He's anything, but he's the opposite of violent. I think what he wants is he wants the public to be educated, right? He wants everybody to get good information, right? This is an information war, right? And we're at war based on what information people are getting. And that's why the government comes out and has this, disinformation boards. It's just information that could be true. It's just it goes against their narrative. So these are the types of things that we really need to step up and correct. Wake as many people up as we can. Everybody needs to get on the same page. And then when Trump gets back into office, let's give him the order to take these people down. And I think we all have to get behind him. Because I went out with my neighbor, Marilyn, right? Took her out for, I had her join us for Thanksgiving. And she starts talking politics in the car. I'm just like, not today.
Instantly.
Instantly. She's like, hey, you guys want to talk politics? I'm like, you're hysterical. But, she's like, Donald Trump's an asshole, da-da-da-da-da. And I turn around, she's sitting in the back seat, I'm sitting in the front. I turn around, I say, let me tell you something. When you understand who these people are, Trump's not a big enough. You need the biggest asshole you can find to deal with these types of people. These people are murderous. They're rapists. They're scum. They're the scum of the earth. As Kelly would say, they're the freaks. And they need to be wiped off the face of this planet sooner rather than later. But we just have to go through this time period. So I would just recommend everybody stay calm because I get real passionate about this. I got to stay calm too. But
you said, and I turned around. I was like, oh, what'd you say?
Yeah. No, she was a sweetheart. But yeah, I think people should really tune into that one interview. I think it'll give you a lot of insights in terms of kind of what to expect on the financial front. He said about a year and a half.
Yep.
Till everything goes to shit. So what's going to happen in that year and a half? Probably see more war. Probably China invade Taiwan. What else?
All the above. Strap in. It's going to be interesting.
Buckle up. So we'll leave it there. Is that good?
Sounds good.
Is that good, Justin?
Sounds great, man.
All right. Over and out. Salute.
Salute.